Everybody in the galaxy, welcome back to Planet Earth. How are we doing today? It's Tape Week, a wonderful Wednesday. How are y'all doing in the chat room? We got Kiara in the chat, of course. We got Claire Bear in the chat. We got Master Tiger in the chat. Wow. It's 2:22 where I'm at. What time is it for you? It's tape time, especially on Tape Wednesday. Yeah, it's been Tape Week for the last few days, and check it out. We got to cover all the tapes we can. It's micro-cassette tape day today. I got something. Whew, I was working my my buns off last night. We got Slow Neko in the chat. How we doing, Slow Neko? Welcome back. Yeah, I was working almost all night. It felt like all night. This is a lot of tape-related shows. We're only on day 3 here, so as it goes, let's make some magic. I got the Tascam 414, of course. I know that's not dealing with micro-cassettes, but we are going to feed a micro-cassette with some compact cassette. The normal cassettes are called a compact cassette. In case you didn't know that. I'm going to play some Electrified Rain in the background here for a little bit while we mess around with some micro-cassette, hopefully magic. Woo! Okay, so, yeah, feeling good. Feeling very good. Ooh. Let's head on over to our usual tape workstation. I have a whole bunch, and this is not even all of them. Micro-cassettes and micro-cassette related gear. Also known as the dictaphone. Check out that beauty. This is the one we're going to be using today, and it's ironically it's one of the only ones that works. Let's dive through into this pile a little bit. This is a micro cassette. As you can see, it's extremely teeny tiny. I love it for that. Here's a compact cassette for comparison. A compact comparison. Yeah, these were primarily made for dictation. I guess big studio executives or whoever executives would use these in dictaphones. You know, it's a dictation phone right here. To, I guess, jot down their ideas, mind stream them. We're going to be using it for music today, though, which it's not really spec'd out for, but it does add a lot of nice crunch. Hopefully it's nice. I promise you, I try to do my homework here. I always try to do my homework, but on Tape Week, that's a lot. That's a lot. We got Hen in the chat. How we doing, Hen? Of course. Yeah. Hen saying, what's poppin', my friends? Hopefully not too much of the tape, the micro-cassette tape. There was a very harsh sound when I did my preliminary micro-cassette test. But I have, we're going to use the Tascam here I'm going to play you a little bit of I guess it would be a Keys 01 remix. I did hint at that yesterday, that today was going to be related to keys, and I'm not sure if there's a better format to record a key to than this. You can pop it onto a keychain. I think I want to do that at some point. I don't know, maybe we could get into micro-cassette jewelry or, oh yeah, pinky ring. Come on, baby. Here we go. How's it look? It needs the ring, of course, to stay on the pinky ring finger. So check it out. I got the Tascam 414 here. It's, of course, playing the Electrified Rain. And let me clear up this analog just a touch. It's a little bit better there. Nice. So let's see. What I'm doing, I have the Avalanche run. That's my effects. It's got the echo and the delay. That's going on effect send 1. And since it's stereo, I only really need to send 1 from each pair. This cassette is playing the reverse. Anyways, that's a lot of stuff going on. But what I'm trying to point your attention to is effect send number 2. I got this tape I prepared with keys 01 on it. I did this last night, and you remember Bob Ross, of course, right? He was just talking about happy accidents. I tried to time it out. The Tascam 414 runs faster, but you get better quality. So I was trying to add as much quality to the tape as I could before I put it onto a micro-cassette, and it would lose all of its quality, giving it a different quality, a nice analog one. So what I did is I tried to time it out. So the micro-cassette will run at the fast speed. They have 2 speeds. And it takes about 30 minutes to get through a micro-cassette. So I tried to time this out for 30 minutes, and the Tascam just ate up the tape so fast that it was about 26 minutes on one, and then it was 27 minutes on the other one. I tried twice and failed twice, but it turned out really good. I had to shift the pitch down, so I have keys 01 in a higher key on one side, and on the other side, it's in a slightly lower key. So I'm going to be mixing these 2 sides together because we can do this with a Tascam 414. It's kind of a studio grade cassette machine, of course. Those of you in the chat probably already know this. How are we doing, Gonzin? Good evening for Gonzin. Gonzin's on the phone for a bit, and I'm going to be on the dictaphone for a bit. Dictaphone. Hello. Yeah, that's well, let's do a little bit of a show and tell here. I got a lot of these dictaphones here, and only 2 of them are working. Oh boy. It looks like Workshop Wednesday will be coming on strong. Not today, but maybe in the future. I don't know. Some of these things are beyond all hope. So let's see here. To finish my point, I don't know if I ever do that. It seems like I just ramble and scramble. But the effect send 2 is going to be coming out of the Tascam up top here, and it's going into the dictaphone. This Panasonic one that has a 3.5 millimeter input and output. So yeah, that was quite a cable scramble last night. I just did not quite know how to do that because once again, the microcassette has 1 tape head, so that means it's recording on one side of the tape mono, and on the other side of the tape, when you flip it, in mono. So we really don't need to be smashing up a stereo signal onto a microcassette format. But I just thought this was funny because the only way I could get it to sound somewhat good is by sending it through the effect send 2, and I'll only be sending the left track of both sides of this cassette. And it's not even touching notch 1. It's that's dodgy, my friends. It is indeed a bit dodgy. Let me pop out my pop-out chat here. I like to do that. For those of you who don't know, there's a little menu there on YouTube. You can pop out the chat, and it will keep all of the messages there, and you don't have to kind of watch through it. It'll also leave them up. Anyways, YouTube's great. I wish they would just let us download the whole transcript, though. That'd be cool. Okay, cool. So we got slow and echo. I'm currently vibing. Let's vibe a little bit more. I'll stop the talking here for a minute. Well, in a minute, because I did want to show you some of these fine tape machines. Okay, so yeah, as you can tell, I've got quite the stockpile of tapes. These are these cute little TDK micro-cassettes. cassette. I like them. Sometimes I don't know if you guys get my jokes right off the bat, so I have to kind of tell you what I'm thinking. But that's usually what I do, right? I'm telling you what I'm thinking every single day. These Sertron ones, these are cool because they have screws in them, and I thought that there was only a couple types of microcassettes that had screws in them, but it turns out I think all microcassettes have screws in them. They're just under the label. So I bought a whole bunch of these Sertrons because of these screws, so I could get in there and potentially make tape loops. I do have a microcassette tape loop that we made on a show a while ago, but look at how weird this case is. You got the J card here, and you put the tape in there, and then you kind of put it there, and it wants to push it out. It's very strange. I don't understand, but it doesn't really, yeah. So cute. I love it. So I got a whole pile of those. I want to record some music to these. So I got a lot of work to do, but that'd be kind of cool to do an album release on micro-cassette. Not sure how any... Well, you can get these machines. That's one of the cool things about working with tapes, is that there are tapes out there. They're getting more and more expensive as we're speaking, of course. These are really cool. These, you can open them up, and the label is like a slip mat, kind of like with a normal compact cassette. So let me realign this here. I think we're going to use this cassette here today because we can open it up and make it look a little bit more customized, which is kind of fun. It's very fun. Yeah, look, I got some of these TDKs. I have about 4 packs of these. I got micro cassettes for days, even weeks, tape weeks. And here's a nice little assortment of my beautiful micro cassette players. And guess which ones work? Well, you know this one works. It's the one that's plugged in. There's only one other one that works. We got a Sony, a Sanyo, and an Aiwa. This one is gorgeous. I'll show that to you in just a second. Let me put these micro cassettes down to the ground. You guessed it. It's the Sony. It's not this Sony. Although I haven't tested this one. I got this with that beautiful white, and I have a cassette machine I was thinking about repairing here on the show for Tape Week. But when the guy shipped it, he didn't package it very well, so that's why I got this tape on here, because there's a bunch of plastic that's been shattered and stuff. And so I might be able to, if I can get this working, maybe turn it into a Eurorack module. That would be really, really cool. I would absolutely love to get this one working. Some of you might remember it from the show. Look at the build quality on this. Feels like it's from the 60s, although I don't think it is. Maybe there's a date on there. No, I don't see it. Anyways, the guy promised me that this was working. I'm not sure how much money I spent on it, but yep, it just has a red light that turns on. Maybe that's what the guy classified as working, but it didn't spin the tape or do anything. So it really sucks because look at this. It feels like something they would maybe have in a space capsule or something. This is the other one that is a working one. I like this little Sony. This is good. I've used this out in the field. I have where's that tape? I have a tape here. Oh, here it is. This is a Seattle Waterfall. Maybe I'll play that for you in a bit. But until then, we're going to be using this one because it has the outputs that we need. All right, let's see. We did make on the show, it's kind of cool. I'm just doing a quick run through for you before we get to the main feature. Look at that. That's a micro cassette tape loop. We made that on the show. I tried a couple times and failed, and that's usually how it goes when you're trying things for the first time. But it's nice because this one, I guess this is a brother to that one. Yeah, so it has that white label on it, kind of like a white label record, but a micro cassette. And that's our Hey Pizza tape loop. Remember that, you guys? Some of you will remember that. I suppose I can play it for you here really quick. It was difficult to make this loop. Let me turn the volume up here on this machine. Mamma mia. And maybe one of the best qualities of the microcassette format and the dictaphones is they're tiny little microphones in there that crunch it up and make it kind of sound like an old 80s toy or something. The format was made for dictation, so it's not really built for handling the kind of like bass response and things. Oh, whoa, did you see that? That was a clown catch. I dropped it. I flonged it out and I caught it. Woo. That's cool. That's a cat-like reflexes. Got to have those.
Hey, pizza.
Anybody hungry? Good times.
Hey, pizza! Hey, pizza!
Yeah, so it is possible to make a cassette tape loop for microcassette. It was a little bit more difficult, but it's possible. So give it a shot if you got one of these machines. Let's do a couple last shows of tales. I mean, show and tell. Look at this beauty. I don't know. This was early in my cassette tape journey in 2020 when I bought this. And the guy said that it wasn't working, but I felt like I had gotten pretty confident at replacing belts. I haven't opened this up at all. Wow. I have a lot of machines that I just have hanging around. I know some of you do too. And there's no battery corrosion in here, so it probably just needs a new belt. And this would potentially be my go-to dictaphone because it's gorgeous. It's made out of aluminum, and it has some switches and the proper input and output to feed it with a synthesizer. Also has this case, which I guess is cool. Let's see here. They used to do this back in the day. I guess they still make cases for electronics these days. They are just different. Everything's made out of silicone these days. Okay, not that this is much better. I'm sure this is all some kind of a polymer or other. Okay, we got the splicing block hanging out here. We don't need that today. So, my friends, what I'm going to do, I am going to record a little bit of a keys remix here. And we're going to feed it into this micro-cassette and see how cool it sounds. And then we also have the switch on the bottom that switches it to half speed so that you can really save that tape. These executives, they're often penny pinchers, so you can make one tape go twice as long, I guess, was the idea. Great. Little did they know they would be inspiring vaporwave and lo-fi musicians decades later. So, welcome back to Tape Week. It's day 3. How many days will you spend with me? Okay, cool. Oh, one more thing. These are really cool. I'd like to find some more of these because the case they come in is different. For some reason, I thought these were really cool. Also, it's black plastic, black translucent plastic. These are gorgeous. And it's like a little 5-pack. So maybe I'll do an exclusive album release on 5-pack at some point. That might be kind of cool. All right, so we got the Seattle Waterfall tape. I might play that later. That's Electrified Waterfall? Okay, so for this one, I was going to... Maybe we shouldn't open it up. We can open it up later or any other time, but I want to use this one for today because I think this is going to be a very special cassette. So let's take this one out. I was testing on this one here. Same, but different. Panasonic MC60. Different labels, different look. All right, let me get the A side here. That's the B side. Strange. Wonder if I already messed around with this one. We're going to burn right through it, though. We'll record over it. Whatever could possibly be on there. It's probably not important, right? I hope it's not important. It's one of those fancy smanchy executive meetings. A board meeting from the command center. Trying to get my analog right over here. Ooh, how about that? Yeah, we're traveling through space. This is more of like a spaceship machine now. Yeah, because I'm always fighting for space in my studio. It's been a nice challenge, though. I think a lot of people claim that working within the limitations of certain things whether it be a synthesizer or a studio, can produce some interesting results because you have to get creative with your solutions. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. So I'll set these down. I'll set these other machines down here. Let's get back over to the Tascam 414. I got to do a little tape swap here and play you a modified Keys 01 show. And this is cool because I have keys, like I said earlier, on one side of the tape going forward in a higher key, and then when you flip the tape, it's going forward, which makes the other one going backwards. Tapes are amazing. I love it. And I love you all. We got Master Tiger in the chat saying those mini tapes are cute. They're so freaking cute. I love them. I want to do some more experiments with these types of tapes. One thing that I think would be really cool, I'm not sure if the format can handle it, is recording data to the tape. I think it would be really cool to record an HTML program's code to the tape and then have some program that you like upload the audio to, and it decodes the sound. This isn't anything very new. The Korg Volca synthesizers and drum machines do something similar to that, where it pipes in an audio signal that has the data for the software update and for the samples in it as digital, kind of like an encrypted digital signal. I think that'd be really cool because then you could pass around secret messages with your friends on tiny micro-cassettes, which maybe some of us were doing when we were kids. I kind of missed the whole tape thing when I was a kid. I mean, I was there, it was around, but I didn't have a lot of... I only have one micro-cassette, and it's somewhere. I should try to pull it out before the end of tape week, where I'm a little kid and I'm just making weird sounds on the micro-cassette. So not much has changed, I suppose. Let's fade out the electrified rain here. I'm going to get ready to play you guys a bit of a nice ease, or keys. Same, right? Ease but different. That was electrified rain. I'm working on the fully extended program of Electrified Rain. I think I'm going to release something like a 10-hour sleepscape of only Electrified Rain. I think that would be really cool. I've been meaning to do that. I've been talking about it for a long time. There's some people in the comments every now and then that say, we're still waiting for Electrified Rain. So give me a like and subscribe for that. That's coming quick after Tape Week. Tape Week's a lot, as I'm sure you guys are aware. Let me load up this cassette here. Make sure it's rewound. This is Double Keys 01. And we're going to try to make... That's another idea I have, is recording a keys, because they're a shorter version of an ease, to microcassette, and then on the other side recording some sort of modified version of it that you would only be able to hear if you, picked up one of those microcassettes from my website. Yeah, we got Richard in the chat. How we doing? So many machines. Richard, haven't seen you for a minute. Welcome back, my friend. Richard is saying those old computer game cassettes could fit 2 songs either side. I have one of those Tandy cassettes here. I did record some music to it, although it didn't end up sounding very good. But I'm not sure if that's just because Tascam 414s don't like ferric tapes. They like high bias tapes, or if it was because it's more of a computerized specific tape. Anyways, let's grab that. Yeah, this one's cool. It's still sealed. It's been bumping around in someone's attic. I think it's very. That is not the analog blur. That is a scratch patina, but it's cool because it's got those shiny TX style reel-to-reel reels in there. You see that every now and again. It's very cool. Okay, so I got a couple of things here before we do this. I got an old Casio watch. I love that. I got a timer set for 30 minutes just so I can know where I'm at as far as the microcassette is concerned. I'm gonna hit record here on the dictaphone, the microcassette machine. Maybe I'll zoom into it a little bit more too. let's make a micro cassette album today. What do you think? We got our tape loaded up, and ooh, that silence, it always gets me. I think what I'll do is I will start the timer here for 30 minutes. That's how long that's going to last. And hopefully the other tape lasts just as long. I'm going to just bring up a level and we will get into some nice ambient music here. So thanks for letting me chatterbox my way into the music. Here it goes. I hope it sounds good. Like I said, I did some dodgy gain staging right before the show, but I think it should sound cool enough to flip it into the halftime speed and create some really cool soundscapes, which Lord knows I need with my Ease show. That's Electric Archaic Soundscape Expeditions. Okay, I have talked. I have said things. Let's do this. I'm going to hit play. Maybe I'll hit record first. There's that perfectionism coming in again. Here we go. All right, we are recording on the micro-cassette. Not sure if you can see it rolling around in there, but what do you prefer better? Anyways, I got to get this other one started. Woo! Let's go. Sit back and enjoy. Oh, that was perfect. You might even be able to hear the alarm. That's a good old tape timer. How we doing out there? Wow. Thank you once again for joining me on day 3 of Tape Week, and massive pure niceness. Thank ya to Key Era for those beautiful vocals on tape. Couldn't have done it without you. That's for sure. I'm really, I'm shocked because the amount of times I messed up the timing on that tape preparation last night. I'm happily surprised that everything timed itself perfectly for recording that little piece of music to micro-cassette. Well, we can't keep the silence on this channel for too long, so let me set up the Tascam 414. We usually say set it up for record, but we're just going to set it up for playback here, and I'll slather it in reverb too to make it extra fun. I love my reverb and my echo, mainly the echo. Okay, so I got it plugged into track 4 here. Let's go ahead, grab that dictaphone, and let's see. I'm pretty sure this one here is for the mic, and that one's for the monitor. Woo, that's quite the trip. Falling down the rabbit hole, indeed. Okay, let's see. Let's have a moment of truth here. None of the effects came across on to this tape, but it had a lot of effects anyway. It's nothing but effects, some people might say. I guess we have to rewind it. It helps to do that. So we got a little bit of time. I'll put some Electrified Rain on while you're waiting. I love that Electrified Rain. And I, of course, recorded that, so that'll be really cool. Maybe I'll release that at a future date. Because every time you mix something together, especially with tape and analog things, it's completely unique, which is cool. And you may have heard there was a hint of Tiger Sky in there, too. That's because I guess I need to add something else to my flight list. The flight list is getting long, you guys. It's, check my monitors, check my microphone, check a lot of things. The dead mice, they hang out on the screen. Ooh, I don't like those. Okay, cool. So let's see here. I'm going to stop recording in the Ableton, and I will move it forward, and I'll record whatever comes through onto the micro-cassette. It can be kind of cool to record that. So, boom, we're back online. Yeah, that sneaky loop got me yesterday. Or loop from yesterday. That's the thing about Tape Week. It all just merges and splurges together, right? How are we all enjoying Tape Week? I know I have been, and I know Kiara has been too. I've been really lucky to have her in the studio for as many days as we've had her. If you're just tuning in now, check out all my shows. No, day 2 and day 1 are on my YouTube channel. Free for the watch back, my friends, and there's also the teaser, Keys 01. It's kind of a modified Ease show that I recorded to kick off Tape Week. Okay, it looks like we're done rewinding the micro-cassette here. Let's hope, let's pray that it sounds cool. I suppose I could play it alongside the Electrified Rain. That wouldn't hurt too much. Maybe I'll turn that down just a touch. Nice rhyme. I swear, the more you talk, the more you can rhyme if you'd like to. So let's start it out. Here we go. I'm going to press play on the dictaphone. Lots of hiss. Tape hiss is a feature these days, right? Well, I hope it worked at all. There it goes. Now, you all just heard how it sounded before it was on micro-cassette. And that is crunchy. That's cool. Let's add some more reverb to that. Maybe I'll make this a feature in the future. I think it sounds pretty good for a micro-cassette. Hen asked what was poppin' today. You can hear the little pops on this machine. I guess I could fade in some more electrified rain here. We got DJ Dichotomy in the chat room. How we doing? My friend. Magic in the studio, I think so. Lo-fi analog magic. 2026, it's the year of analog. Let's all do what we can do to make that true. We got Richard, so many machines. Richard in the chat saying, I'm vibing with the haunting choral sounds. LOL, the spell check won't let me say vibing. It's a word. It certainly is a word. Okay, so I'm going to fade that out gently here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it into halftime. Let's do that. There's a switch on the bottom of this machine. Just click that in. And you will hear a completely different world once again. It's like a copy of a copy of a copy. I think that right there is the magic of the micro-cassette. That cassette. That sounds really good to me. I imagine it being run through my modular synthesizer into a filter, maybe a nice slow LFO. There's so many cool things you can do with sound. Haunting, indeed. It's one of the problems with my setup here. I don't have stereo coming into my headphones. So sometimes I mess up on the pans. It's a bummer, but what can you do? Fix it in post, as they say. Should be hearing that a lot more clear now. Sorry. My best laid tape plans. Quite the studio over here. I put many a dollar and many a time, many a year into bringing this whole show to you guys. So I really appreciate you being here, hanging out with me and listening to my freaky music. Mistakes and all. I sure do appreciate you all. So don't forget, give me a like and subscribe if you've had fun here today. I might just let this play out for a little bit longer. It sounds really cool. Something new from something old. But not too old, though. Unless you're talking about the Electrified Rain. That's a classic. We got Misty Forest in the chat. DJ Misty. Maybe that's what I'll call you from now on. I saw Kiera calling you that earlier. It's a nice mix of your names there. DJ Misty in the chat room saying, became an addict of this show here. Well, thank you. I might be more of an addict than you for it. I mean, I have to be passionate about this. That's a lot of love to bring this amount of freakiness to the world. So I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you guys all like this. We got Master Tiger in the chat, itching for something. We haven't decided what it's going to be yet. It's a little early, but Master Tiger is saying 497 to go. Master's, of course, talking about my subscriber count. That'll get me up to 1,000 subscribers, and that should be a pretty cool day when we hit that goal. Because I imagine there's a whole lot more people out there who will like this type of content, so share it if you think you know someone who will like this. It's my life's work, and I intend to continue doing it for the rest of my life. Master Tiger saying tape life. I suppose that would have something to do with me going live every day of my tape life. Maybe tape month. We'll see how I feel after tape week. Although by the time I hit 1,000 subscribers, it might just be really, really second nature for me. It's starting to get that way anyway, but you know, I always miss something. We're gonna have to start a A raffle. No. Some kind of a side quest where where people can make guesses on what variable in my studio will be on the fritz or will Electric Archaic forgets. It's been a lot of shows. Almost 100 shows. Probably more like 80 because it counts. The number of videos is up to almost 100. So. I've done a show every week and some weeks multiple shows since 303 Day last year. And I fully intend to have a massive 303 Day celebration this year, although it won't be on Monosynth Monday because that was a really lucky alignment for 2025, having March 3rd, 303 Day on a Monday. That's when I invented my whole live streaming. Well, I had Ease. I'll give you a little bit of history. I did have the Ease show for a couple of years, but I hadn't called it Ease until I started thinking about live streaming my shows. And I played a Blade Runner themed night market a few years ago at a local venue. And I just DJ'd a bunch of tapes. Some of it was about 50-50 original music and film scores from Blade Runner and Dune, and this type of feeling. It's got that cyberpunk feeling, which I really like. Utopian future, galactic future. Welcome back, Gonzin. Gonzin, we are listening to the micro-cassette on half speed that we just recorded on normal speed. Maybe you were hearing everything. I'll just catch you up. That's coming through on track 4 here. Still haven't solved the mystery of track 3. The track 3 tape loop mystery. We'll have to maybe figure that out tonight or tomorrow. We got Claire Bear in the chat saying she's going to be going to be diving her first shipwreck today out there in the Philippines. Hopefully you can find some treasure, the gold kind. That'd be nice. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. And we'll make some jewelry with it when I come over there. We got somebody taking a flight here. Happy travels. Happy trails. Trying to catch up onto this chat room. Let's see who was it? Kiera saying, safe flight and fun trip to you, Slow Neko. Yeah, have a good flight, Slow Neko. Let us know if you land safely. It's probably time for me to think about inviting more people to the community Discord chat room. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'll generate an invite link. Maybe I'll just do it. There's no sense in doing something later, which you could do now. I try to follow that as much as I can. If you're into that type of thing, I'm posting an invite to the community Discord chat. We have a lot of fun in there. Send us some of your favorite music. think that was a lot of fun today. It's usually what I shoot for. Shooting for fun. That's cool. So that's a perfect little ambient album on micro-cassette. And when you play it at half speed, you'll get through it half as fast. Look, there's still a lot more to go. You will be in our hearts. Little micro-cassette. Keys 01. Now I've got to figure out what to do with the other side of it. Thank you all so much for joining me on this wonderful week. It's tape week. 4 more days to go. I guess we're looking like this tape here. It looks like it's gotten through 3/7 of the way. What will we do next? What will we do tomorrow? Well, join in the live stream. Same time, same place. It's tape week. I love you all, and I love this planet. And I know that you love this planet too. Love your mother. Right on. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends.